Picture a Scientist is a documentary on some of the most notable female scientists, including Nancy Hopkins, James Willenspring, and Rachel Burks, who have all faced significant challenges in their scientific careers, such as gender inequality, discrimination, and harassment. We first come across a woman named Nancy Hopkins, who is a biologist at MIT. One of the difficulties that she had faced was being denied equal laboratory access. She was given less research resources, setting a barrier between her and her male colleagues. In response to that, she had written a report documenting the disparities that she had faced and how they should fix this within her institution. Next was a chemist named Rachel Burks. While she was at work, people would assume that she was a janitor because she was a Black woman despite working in the science field. This was more for a reason for her to advocate for herself and other women of color, because we should be respected for our achievements, as gender and race should not be overlooked or ridiculed. Lastly, Jane Willenbring was a geologist, and she was taking a research trip to Antarctica, where she was faced with a rude male trip leader, harassing her and calling her names. She wanted to report this instance, but she was afraid of retaliation. A few years later, she finally did report him, and the male trip leader was fired. Here are some key takeaways that I got from this documentary. I find it outrageous how your identity can be a big factor of how you'll be treated in the STEM world. Both Burks and Willenbring's stories goes to show the harassment and discrimination they had to face simply because of their gender and race. It takes numerous methods of addressing these forms of discrimination and whether they will be taken seriously. As a woman of color who plans to work in the STEM field, I hope to see women treated equally and respectfully in the present and future. Nancy Hopkins confronting the gender biases she had experienced from MIT was remarkable, as it tells MIT and other institutions to work and improve on their policies and provide equal opportunities for everyone, leaving no one to feel discriminated. There was a metaphor mentioned in the documentary that I thought to be very telling of the treatment women face in the scientific field. It was the iceberg analogy, showing the tip of the iceberg being the extreme incidence of sexual oppression and assault, and the bottom of the iceberg addressing the bigger, more common issues that include the little slights, microaggressions, and invisible barriers that women face in research. As someone who normally doesn't watch documentaries, Being a Scientist was inspiring, as it presents the perspectives these brilliant scientists had to go through, such as gender inequality, discrimination, and harassment, as well as how they overcame these hardships. It gives a call to action to revolutionize the scientific world, as it can lead to a successful present and future.